Touch. Yay. Wait, where are those stupid keys that I'm supposed to be able to craft every day? Ah, there it is. I knew I could get it off of this crafting table. Yeah, I know video games. Wonder if the market got disabled again because of the deeping. Ooh, why do I still have gear? Oh, it's been so long since I played. Hey, Deadly. Or sorry, at Deadly Y6, because I forgot that YouTube does that for no reason now, which I hate. Confuses me because so many of you guys like suddenly got like a new username, basically. Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, sorry there was no content there for a little while. Like, you can probably hear the congestion right now as well, but basically, and I'm sure I'll repeat this as people trickle in. Oh. So, I got sick when I was in Japan because, you know, I was playing with one of my nephews and he was like coughing in my face. Whatever, I don't care. When I was out in Japan, I had like a super sniffle day where I just, you know, was blowing my nose all night and didn't sleep. But, you know, at the end of the day, I still felt like fine. It was just my body was like, no. And then suddenly, I don't know what happened, but then like this past week, it hit so hard where I ended up having like coughing fits, like stuff where it's like, oh, I can't like stream or do like anything. Because even editing and stuff, like I was coughing up a lung. And my body was like super sore just from all the coughing and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, cool. But again, like I feel fine. It's just my body kind of reacting sort of situation. But I've actually already been recording like quite a few things over these past couple days. Well, I started recording yesterday. I was still kind of coughy. And then I recorded a bunch today just to kind of test the waters and see how I was doing. And yeah, then I thought, okay, I'm well enough that I think I can end up doing a stream. Hay fever? No, it was just a crazy lingering cold. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anything like super serious. Like the first symptom was just runny nose, and that only lasted a day in Japan. And then suddenly, like just a week ago or whenever my uploads started being all scattered, it was just, and it always activates at night, mostly. But it was very annoying. The most annoying part is when I'm trying to sleep and it's like, it just keeps coming up where I have to cough. But yesterday I started taking it like super seriously where I was like, all right, screw this. I'm going to kill this bug. And I just started like, nom, 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 just all sorts of medicine. I stayed as strong as I could without it. But yeah, now here we are, so. But it's still going to take me a little while to get things back in order. Like I wasn't really expecting it. And you know, it's one of those sicknesses where it's like, I'm going to remember this one. Doesn't happen often. But yikes. I'm still not 100% right now. So we'll see how long I can stream. But suffice to say, I still got so much to edit. Like, especially with the vlog stuff. Vlog stuff. Tomorrow we've got Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch, so I'll do at least a one-off video of that. But that's probably going to be uploaded later at night because, you know, I'm going to be busy with baby Leon all day. So the only thing that's gonna go up like bright and early is this stream VOD, probably. And then there's the new Helldivers Warbond, which I probably won't like cover. I'm just gonna play it myself. And then December 3rd at nighttime should be Metroid Prime, which is my most anticipated game. But then we've also got Routine, which is a horror game. There's Thief VR, which is a VR game that looks like crap. But yeah, suffice to say, I'm about to get like super busy super quick. So I did not need this sickness getting in the way of me getting Trove videos stockpiled and ready, you know? So we might just, you know, take a bit of time to do the streams just because they're so chill and easy for me. Also, thanks, Deadly. Yeah, there's still going to be a lot more to the Japan vlogs. Not only like, I've got like individual days where it's like, oh, this one's interesting enough that it could be its own video. But then there's also just the overarching vlog. There's probably going to be like 2 more parts to it. Like in the same vein of that last video with the first 7 days. Just because otherwise it was like 2 or 3 hours of footage that I was just like, I'll just split that into 30-minute videos. Screw it. But anyway, hey Tech. And then, oh yeah, and then all the Hytale stuff, that's cool. Finally gonna be able to pre-order it and everything. Where the heck are the other dungeons? What's going on? Trove, hello? I do appreciate how transparent they've been with Hytale, where they basically say, yeah, the game's gonna suck, and it's like, okay, I'm still gonna give you my money. And then we got the Game Awards, which, you know, I talked about all that stuff already in another video, so no point treading the same ground. Oh, pardon me. It's gonna happen. But yeah, like I said, like, it's not one of those things where I feel sick. Like, in terms of my spirits and everything, like, I'm feeling good. What is going on with this? Why? Like, I'm in the long shade, right? Huh? Why is there not more of these 5-star dungeons? What's going on? Yeah, I was in long shade. Okay. Really unlucky? I don't know. Do I farm D14 if I'm 8k light? I think so, right? Is 8k light enough for D14? Oh, right, it doesn't recommend it. It really should. I know that you need like 11k, I think, or something like that to handle D15. So I'll say if you can handle it at 8k, then sure, go for it. But I'm sorry, I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe some other end gamers can help. I'm still pretty out of it. Which, speaking of which, let me grab some vitamin C really quick, guys. I've just been basically eating these like candy. Pumping myself full of like vitamins because I'm so sick of this, dude. You need like 11.5k light to solo D15. Yeah, I think it's 11.1, but either way, he was asking about D14, so that's why I just mentioned it in passing instead of going into detail. I just don't remember what the D14 one is. Also, hello. Can I add you? Yeah, of course. Ugh. Oh yeah. I guess for for YouTube chat, because, you know, we got at least one guy on the Twitch, Larkin. You guys seen the YouTube ads lately? Oh my God. I don't even want to watch YouTube right now. It's so bad. Where it'll be like, you can skip this ad in 5 seconds. And then if you don't, the ad's like 2 minutes long now. It's so obnoxious. And then if you're like me and you like watching YouTube in the background while you're eating or doing other things, guess what? Now suddenly it's gonna pop up on your phone and your hands are all gooey, so you don't want to touch your phone, which means that you're gonna get stun locked with an ad. Like, it's insane. I don't know why they just out of nowhere went like crazy, but yeah, it's not gonna end up affecting people watching through with ad blocker and stuff. But for me, like, I just cast to my TV. So, but it's like, oh my God. It's terrible. It's so annoying. You have to like manually like make sure that you skip the ad, because it'll be like, you'll if you don't skip the ad, what'll happen is it'll go into a second ad that then requires you to wait more additional time to skip it. And it's just like, who decided this? Like, if there was an option to have it just auto skip or something, like, you know, cool. Hopefully my paycheck is a lot for December with all the ads people are going to be stuck watching. But you know what I'm expecting? Probably the same old paycheck. It's not going to make a damn difference. It's just for YouTube to, you know, be greedy and get more money, not for the content creators. Oh, God. Also, thanks, AJ. Appreciate it. Watched you since I began playing Trove. Got to 52 KPR. Nice. Let's get it. Yeah, don't worry. You'll surpass me with the lack of time I've had lately. Also, yeah, hey, Bobby. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry, I got like the sniffles, so I just keep muting. Hey, Levy. What up? Yeah, hopefully you guys have been good in my absence. Hopefully everything's good. Games are about to go pretty hard over these next couple days. It's actually nuts. And I don't know if you guys saw the Game Awards is kind of teasing this new thing. People are suspecting Diablo 4 DLC, but somebody confirmed at Blizzard that it's not. People are saying, oh, maybe it's Elder Scrolls 6. I think it's Diablo 5. Because we already knew they were working on Diablo 5 a while back. And I think Diablo 4 did not do that well. I mean, it did well, just like as far as a fundamental game. I think it was missing a lot. But I don't know. There's an Eminem Hitman collab mission. Don't make me laugh. Oh. Yeah, no thanks. I don't have Hitman installed anymore. I'm gonna be so busy over these next couple days, dude. In a good way. Like, I'm not complaining about it in any way, shape, or form. But it's like on top of, oh, I also still have to finish the vlog stuff. I gotta get my Trove videos all caught up. Like, man, it's not often that I get like that sick. That was like the last time. Most of you guys aren't even gonna be around for that long. The last time I got this sick was when I still had a Starfield series. Or not Starfield, Starbound. That's it. Sorry, forgettable name. I remember there was, I think that was the first video where I had to skip a day of uploading because I was that sick. And I mean, of course, since then, like, I'll just take appropriate days off if I need to. But I felt really good when I came back from Japan because, I had all my videos scheduled for you guys while I was away. I had a really good rhythm going with editing the vlogs and stuff and still having the daily uploads. And then suddenly, boom, I can't do anything. Cool. And I mean, you could argue, oh, you could have edited. No, not really. Like I was basically just taking care of Leon all day, and then I just went to bed. How do I farm block element quick? You know how there's the what do you call it? These boxes, the Gear Crafter vaults. Well, if you max out the Gear Crafter vault, and then you get like a class with a certain power rank, then you can end up unboxing crystal gear, and that'll give you like a ton. Wait, are you talking about crystalline? No, you're not talking about that. You're talking about block element. Block element, I think you just get from loot collecting gear, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. In which case, again, it would just be out of those boxes. Or maybe block element you just get out of those boxes, I think. Sorry, been a while. Editing while sick is counterintuitive. Yeah, that's what I thought. Which is why I didn't bother. I was just chilling these past couple days, and then I wasn't even planning on recording stuff yesterday, but a indie developer threw me one of like a game that I was really excited for. So I was like, well, I want to record this. So I did. But I just beat the game today, and yeah, it was really good. I really liked it. I'm still under an embargo, so I can't say much about it or anything, but I'll have a video talking about it when December 8th is when I can post my review and my full playthrough. So I'm hoping to get all that edited on top of everything else, Why is Hytale getting you so many views despite it not being out? Is it? Because, bro, look at the game that I've been playing for the past 11 years, dude. Is it really like that confusing? Let me rephrase it, or reframe the whole situation here for you. There's people that are considered Hytale content creators because they just keep posting videos on a game that's not out yet. So be thankful that I just have like really short, straight to the point videos, bro. But also, like, Hytale's been a game that me and my community have been hyped for a long time. So now that we finally got some news about it, something that I can actually talk about it that's relevant, I mean, hell yeah, dude. I'm really excited for Hytale. And I'm gonna be real, I hope it does well on the channel, just because I'm planning on playing that game probably like for years. Like, even if I end up getting burnt out on the game, I'm still gonna force myself to play it because I feel like that's when I'm my most creative. If there's one thing Trove has taught me. But yeah, apparently Hytale put PC specs recommendation on their Twitter. See, like that, I could make a video about it, but why? Who cares? Nerd. Like, I'll be able to play the game. The thing that I really, like, genuinely, you guys have no idea how much I appreciate how transparent Hytale is. Like, I don't talk about it in too much detail in the videos, like their blog posts, but they're so, like, interesting for someone that's always just kind of looked in from the outside at video game development and stuff. And for them to be able to just honestly say, like, yeah, we're putting out the pre-order and the early access of the game because we want people that have been waiting for years to be able to finally play it. But if you're waiting for a polished game, don't buy it. Like, when does that happen? You never have them, like, just blatantly say, yeah, this game's gonna be broken. It's just, there's a transparency that I really appreciate about them being, like, fully independent. Really, really refreshing. Like, Trove got pretty close with the developer letters and stuff like that. But they're still under Game Ago, so they can still only talk about so many things. You know what I mean? Hope Hytale does well for you too, since Trove is withering away. I don't think it's fair to say Trove's withering away. Like, I don't have any plans on moving on from Trove myself. It's just, it would be nice to have like another game. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're just passively talking about Hytale, David. Basically, I'm just saying, like, I really hope, fingers crossed, that I can get lucky to break into the Hytale community, and that could be like another popular series on the channel besides Trove, so that I could balance the content instead of just producing one type. You know what I mean? But with Hytale, like, what can I say, dude? Like, look at this game. Let's look at Trove as a comparison. I don't need much to have fun. You just got to have good controls and good combat. And Hytale already showing the ability to do like leap attacks and stuff like that. Like, bro, if I can make the verticality like a thing in terms of how I'm gonna play that game, like, come on. Because otherwise, like, I've always been a variety content creator, but you know, Trove's the one that obviously is my job. It's funny because people always say, you know, "Wow, you're a YouTuber," and it's like, well, I guess so. I'm a Trover. That's my career, really. And I mean, you know me. Even if Hytale's not popular, I'm still gonna dedicate years to playing it anyway. But Path of Exile was another one that I was hoping I could get into, like, for a long period of time until full release. But there's just so many like changes and things that those developers do that it's just so cringe to me. Like, really asinine, backwards decisions. So I've decided, like, as far as Path of Exile, I'm not done with the game. I'm not like 100% quit or anything. I'm just gonna wait for 1.0, which was supposed to come out this year. Because I've talked about that before, but basically I'm just gonna stay on the standard league forever because I don't like the idea of starting from scratch all the time. Even though I'm sure that's gonna happen a lot with Hytale, because I'm sure those updates are gonna like break the game. But oh, dude, if there's one thing I'd recommend you guys to check out, they got a 30-minute video of them showing the creative tools with Hytale. Oh. Genuinely, it looks so good and intuitive. Like, I'm gonna get into building. Like, you have no idea. Because I love map design. It's just when the tools themselves are so like stupid. But they've got it like so streamlined. It's like, I can't wait to make dungeons and like villages and stuff and fill it out with like NPCs and maybe even quests and stuff. Like, screw it, I'll make my own adventure maps, you know? Like, the building just looks so good. It's just so inspiring. Hey, Levy, thanks for the tier 1 sub on Twitch. Appreciate you, man. Now, I know, like, Minecraft modders aren't going to really, you know, think there's that much to Hytale, but the thing is, with Hytale's creative tools, they're all vanilla. It's not modded in. So they've got, like, paintbrush tools and stuff, and one thing that I was really impressed with was there's like one of the paintbrush tools that they had was basically like a ruined ruined house or something, and you could just and put it down, but it like generated a structure, but then you could also widen it, increase its height, and it would still create the structure, but then it would like randomize and create it completely differently based on those parameters. And it's just, there's a lot going on under the hood for that game that is just like so impressive. I'm glad that they're very forward thinking in making the mod tools especially available day one. Because it means even if the game is a broken mess, modders can fix it. But anyways, here I go rambling about Hytale. The creative tools look like game engine tools. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like it looks like it's the tools that the developers themselves probably use when creating stuff. But for them to make it like so streamlined so players can actually use it and do all that, like it's just hell yeah, dude. I want to make a dungeon. I want to make Team Pixel. I want to make the Hanamura map that we had in Trove. Stuff like that, dude. Like, obviously, big slop, like, builds, but I also want to do, like, more intricate, like, smaller, detailed builds. Because, unlike Minecraft, I think one of my biggest issues with Minecraft and why I never get into the building aspect of it, to a degree, is because builds never feel lived in. But with Hytale, we can actually add, like, NPCs and quests and, you know, merchants and stuff like that to, like, wander around and do stuff. So, heck yeah, dude. I'm down. I'm down for that. Hey, Nightcrawler. Yes, I know it's late. I mean, for me, it's like, I think 10 in the PM or something, but... Used to play this game a lot back in the day. Did they delete accounts where I had a buffed up account? But last year I tried to play and it said my account doesn't exist. You sure you're using the right email and stuff? Sometimes that can be the case. Are you on the right version of Trove? I'm sorry, I can't say 100%. Like, maybe they did purging. There's been a lot of hacking and stuff going on with Trove, so. Hytale's gonna be better than Minecraft, in my opinion. Like Terraria, but way more. I hope so, but hyped as we are, curb those expectations. The game is going to be a broken mess. They blatantly said, like, the game's gonna crash and you're going to lose progress. So, in that regard, it's my kind of game. So back up your save files and stuff and just don't, you know, so many people like I'm seeing so many people blowing the hype out of proportion when it's like, again, I'm really looking forward to the creative tools and stuff. But for me, I'm also really looking forward to the exploration. But we're not getting the adventure mode day one. We're not getting the custom, like, official minigame server, because they basically said they're gonna make a Hypixel server, but on Hytale. So it's just one of those games that I feel like there's very few games that you can invest your time into and it pays off, like, in terms of that scope. But I feel like Hytale could be one of those games where, you know, over the years, as it gets more and more refined and stuff, so long as the developers don't abandon it, it could finally end up cracking the, you know, the curse of Cube World or Valorant, like all of these voxel games that could be as popular as Minecraft, but the incompetence of the people in charge just prevent that from happening. And I mean, let's be real, Valorant shouldn't even be in the same vein, because as much as that game's cool and I got addicted to it, it's a Cube World ripoff. They made it because Cube World died, so. But suffice to say, yeah, I like voxel games, man. No surprise. But I'm always disappointed by them. And, you know, there's always so many of them that come out. People always suggest them, or they'll be at Steam Next Fest. And then I try them and I'm just like, bro, this is soulless. But Hytale, I feel like, I really hope it's something different. I'm obviously going to get the most expensive version of the game, and that's going to hurt my bank because it's 70 US, so that's like 200 Canadian or something. Oh my God. Excuse me. Did you play Black Desert? Yep, I did. I think I got like one video on it or something like that. But I couldn't really get into it. It was too Korean MMO for me. I don't know how big the Hytale studio is. I know that they said they hired back like 50 devs, but I don't know how many they had prior to that. Some of the devs moved on to other studios. Like, I know Vintage Story hired a few of them. But I don't know. What? I hear baby Leon crying. It's his bedtime. Why is he up? Sweet baby. Would you do an updated video of the old tutorials? I wanted to look into companions for geode caves. I don't know if I have one for the geode companions. A good point though. Um, let me write that down. I mean, that's kind of the problem, right? Is I always get these ideas from you guys and then I write it down and then it's like, what, does anything happen with it? No. But if I'm being real, one of the big reasons why I don't really do those videos so much is because like it's such an old thing in the game that not much has changed with it. So there wasn't really any reason to end up making an updated tutorial, or better yet, it's something that's just been so like long in the game that it's a more daunting project for me, because it means that I would have to put in research and try to figure out like what's the best geode companion. I don't know. I think it's one of the heck bugs, but that's the thing. Like, how long has it been since I touched the geode caves? Years, literal years. But I've thought about it. I do battle with the idea of updating some old tutorials. It's just a matter of like, do I need to? Like my, one of my super early, really popular guides was the one talking about the Neo wings that you could get in the Sky World or whatever, the Radiant Runes. And it's like, I've looked at that over the years as an example where it's like, that doesn't need an updated tutorial because nothing changed with it. Companions, like, there's been a couple new companions added. But anyways, long-winded answer to just say maybe. Haven't seen her touch this game in ages. The nostalgia? Yes. Oh, right, Back to the Future coming in Fortnite. Yeah. I mean, I'll see if I get around to that, Bobby, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm not kidding when I say I'm gonna be, like, super busy over these next couple days. Like, my workload is, it was looking fine, and now I'm behind. And it's very frustrating. Like, I hate that I got this sick. Recently got back into the game, literally was just thinking, what the heck is the importance of the geode caves? So, to summarize, this is not just related to the geode caves. I've talked about this many, many times before, but basically, like, the problem with Trove is so much of the content is parasitic in its design, meaning that it's not something that adds to the overall scope of the game. Instead, it's something that just is buried away in its little corner, and you essentially do it for the mastery. So the geode caves is required because you gotta get the geode mastery, right? Because that gives you light and whatever, blah, blah, blah. But as far as like, once you've finished with it, do you ever go back? No, outside of events that force you in there. Which is kind of a problem with Trove, honestly. But, I do understand why they do it, because as far as game design, it's a lot easier to just add some new system that's all on its own, rather than add something that's coherent and, clicks with the rest of the game. That takes a lot more time. Core Keeper. Some of the best developers I've ever seen in a video game. And they got a new update coming out in January that looks goated. Do you only do YouTube for work now, or are you doing IRL work and YouTube is just a hobby? I've been doing YouTube for my full-time job for years, dude. Like, I don't think I could do a normal 9-to-5 job anymore, because like my perspective of the world is messed up. Let's be real. I'm getting paid from Trove. Not much on the other game fronts, but I'm still always going to consider myself a content creator, and I think I need to play these other games to have a creative outlet. Not to imply that Trove doesn't give that to me, but, this is a game that I've been playing for 11 years, so it is difficult sometimes to come up with a unique idea that I'm inspired enough to actually, like, follow through with. Because otherwise, a lot of it, again, is just retreading old ground with old tutorials and stuff. But it's just how it is. And it's fine. Like, I'm not complaining about it or anything. But I think when Trove released on Steam, I think since then I was getting a full-time job paycheck. It has dwindled over the years, but it's starting to go back up thanks to Gamago actually starting to care about this game again. Because there was a point where it was like, is Trove just going into maintenance mode? What's going on here? And now, like, you know, people still have the connotation Trove's dying, but I think they've been doing really, really good with their updates and everything like that. I'll talk about it a little bit more when my Game of the Year video comes out. Because yes, Trove's on my Game of the Year. Because who cares? It's about the games that I play. And oh my god, that list is huge. So I hope you guys enjoy that video because I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Got Core Keeper during Alpha. I should check it out. Core Keeper is one of the few games where when the developers add a new update, whether it be a new biome or new piece of content, they will actually comb through the earlier portions of the game to make it make sense with the rest of the game. And the new update is adding like a new end game area that's not only adding like robot stuff, but for example, they're adding a flamethrower weapon. And immediately I just thought, oh, cool. That means I could actually make a fire build because I already had a fire build working in the game with a specific armor type because it would do fire damage with like a fire axe. But now having a flamethrower means you could actually do more with it. Because Core Keeper, despite what a lot of people might think in its simplicity, a game like Terraria, in most cases, there aren't really builds. You just kind of get the next tier of gear and you're good to go. In Core Keeper, it might require a little bit of extra effort to upgrade lower tiers of gear, but they've done a really fantastic job of making every piece of armor and weapon have their own unique passives. And so there are so many different builds that you can actually use in Core Keeper, which is what kept me like so interested and invested in it with my buddy. Because, you know, with our Elden Ring shenanigans and how many builds we've made in that game. And with Core Keeper, it's like, oh, I want to try a poison build. Oh, I want to try a minion build. Which minions during the last update I tried were pretty underwhelming, but I think they patched them and made them better. Anyway, Core Keeper is a great game. I cannot recommend enough. And I'm looking forward to going back to it to tackle the new content with my buddy. Excuse me. Are they working on a new class? I've been told that they are. We don't know. Suffice to say, it's kind of up in the air. They basically had, if you haven't been around for a while, they've been doing these community letters lately, where once a month they answer messages from the community in their Discord. And, you know, a lot of that, they can't answer every question. They're under a publisher, you know, they have to listen to the people up top that have their big brain plan. And so they can't talk about everything under the sun because there might be something that they talk about that eventually gets canned from the game and frustrates players, or maybe they just get bad feedback from players or whatever. So suffice to say, there was a community letter a couple months back that basically said it's not a matter of like whether or not there will be a new class, it's a matter of when. But Trove usually has their big update of the year in March, so I would not expect to see anything really big coming out of Trove for December. Like, we'll probably just get like another stupid event or something. Who knows? But I hope that we see a new class soon, man, because new classes can breathe so much life into this game. Like, I've talked about it before, but if it was up to me, that would be their number one priority, is just constantly making new classes. And I mean, that said, like the latest thing that they've been focusing on is optimization, which I think is the better option, honestly. Because not everyone has like a big, beefy rig like me that can actually run this game and still get frame dips. But as far as content is concerned, I'd just like to see new biomes and new classes, if I'm being honest. Another dupe event. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but sorry, I'm not used to having this beard. There was more dupe stuff. Is the market still working? Yeah, actually it is. Was it Deepstone? Is that the one? Oh, okay. It looks like it's been organized. I don't know what happened. Did it? Yikes. Okay, yeah, that got good. Basically, these were selling for like 5 flux each or something like that. I don't know. It should have a sickle weapon. I'd love new weapon types, honestly. What are your thoughts on Metroid Prime 4? You don't want to know. You shouldn't have. Oh, you shouldn't have asked that, dude. Because now we're going to be here for the next 30 minutes talking about Metroid. All right, I'll try and have a little bit of self-control here. I've been waiting on Metroid Prime for longer than you guys have been waiting for Silk Song. Okay? So I'll just say that. I did have a more recent video where I talked about like Metroid merch that I got in Japan kind of thing. In that video, I kind of talked about like the recent discourse that I've seen online with regards to Metroid Prime 4, which I think everybody's crazy. That game looks insane. It's my most anticipated game this year. Always was, and yeah, I'm really like, you have no idea how excited I am for it. I think there's me and like maybe one other person here on the channel, Gavin, who's like just as hyped for the game as me. Otherwise, nobody else likes Metroid for some reason. Huge fan of Metroid, not a big fan of Metroid Prime. I can understand that just because my cousin likes the 2D games more as well, if that's what you're saying. But I'm really excited for the game. I don't know why you're saying you're disappointed in Metroid Prime 4. It's not out yet. Have you played Terraria? Yes, multiple times on the YouTube channel. Someone was asking that in the Twitch. You've probably been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 longer than some people in this chat have been alive. Yes, and Nick. It's kind of crazy that, so Metroid Prime 3 released in 2007. Metroid Prime 4 was announced in 2017. But arguably, that original version of the game did get canceled. Because originally they were making, Bandai Namco was making Metroid Prime 4, which I thought was a mistake. And thankfully they canceled that and went back to Retro Studios making it. So I don't know when that announcement was that Retro was taking charge, but that's probably the more realistic like dev timeline for the game, which I'm assuming is probably, 5-6 years, something like that. I don't remember. Maybe it was like 2018. I'm hoping that it took this long because of the ambition. Because, oh my god, it looks beautiful. Visually, I think it's going to be like one of the most impressive looking Switch games I've ever seen. I've seen the screenshots of the people and they look real. And I don't know why. It's Nintendo. You never typically see them focus on graphics. Still very stylized, but yeah, I'm extremely excited for it. And I know that I will say I know a lot of people nowadays are very confused about Metroid, just like, what is this stupid looking game? Because most people haven't played the Metroid Prime games, dude. Like, it's been that long. It's crazy when you think about it. But the funny thing is that one of the lead developers already confirmed that he was saying that Metroid Prime 4 is its own story. So obviously I'm still sure it continues where if you have knowledge of the previous games, it's going to be helpful to you. But for example, Phazon was a big thing in Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. That's no longer in the arc anymore. So Prime 4 is kind of its own thing-ish, which makes me question even more why they called it Metroid Prime 4. I feel like they should have just called it Metroid Prime Beyond. Would have made a lot more sense. Would have also made it like a lot less sticky for people that haven't played the previous games to get involved with it. That's just my 2 cents. But I'm also extremely biased, so. Yeah, the amiibo on the bike. I'm not even an amiibo guy, but it just looks so cool I had to have it. And then I also unboxed my Samus one as well, which I think I just posted. And then there's a third Metroid Prime amiibo coming out, and this one I have to get even if I don't want to. Because so for those of you that have never played Metroid, all of you, there's this thing that they do in Metroid Prime where you can use a scanner visor and you can scan things in the environment. And more particularly, you can scan enemies, find out their weaknesses, find out things that might work on them, kind of thing. But scanning things gives you overall percentage towards your file completion. And in order to get the best ending, you have to get 100% scan completion. But there will be like bosses and enemies and encounters that you can pass through and never scan them again. The new amiibo, which is Silex, the bad guy in the game who looks really lame. I hope he is really cool in the game. That new amiibo gives you the 100% ending. So since I know I'm never going to get the 100% scanning, I'm still going to try. But yeah, suffice to say, I have to buy that. I really hope that they sell me on him as a villain, though, because right now, like, I just think he looks so lame. He just looks like a quarterback made out of crystal. But you can still... Sorry about the coughing. But you can still get the 100% ending if you want to do it, like, legit. It's really hard, like, genuinely. But anyway. Metroid Prime's not because of the Phazon, but because of the Metroids. No, I know. That's what I was saying. Like they said that Prime 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, I mean, was like the Phazon arc. And now with Prime 4, they're starting a new story arc, which I really, really hope means that this isn't going to be the last Metroid game ever, but we'll see. I'm fully expecting that this will be it. Which, hey man, I got Metroid Dread. Now I'm gonna get Metroid 4. I'm happy. I'm happy Nintendo acknowledged it. I do wish that Metroid sold better, so Nintendo considered making it a mainline series though. But whatever. But yeah, in Metroid, the first Metroid Prime was called Metroid Prime because you fought against Metroid Prime. It was the final boss, and then I guess they just kind of stuck with it or whatever. I don't know. But I'm very curious where they're gonna go with it. I mean, I guess I'll give it to them. At least they're still calling it Metroid Prime 4. But it makes a lot of people wonder, like, where's Prime 2 and 3? And it's like, well, 2 is gonna go on their stupid GameCube thing, and I they're gonna end up bringing Wii games to the Switch one day. So hopefully it's the last Metroid game so they can prioritize Mario Sports titles and Labo for the Switch too. Yeah, or like the Virtua Boy. Did anybody buy that? Oh, God. I guess collectors, but... Yeah, I've heard about Silex appearing in Metroid Prime Hunters. I never played Metroid Prime Hunters. But my point is, like, I hope that story-wise he comes off as a badass, because I really don't like his look. So I really hope that, like, I hope they can sell me on him where he's just, like, so evil or, like, a genius or something. You know, he's got to have, like, something to him. I'm calling it right now, the final fight with him, he's going to, like, fuse with his lab-created Metroid babies or whatever and turn into some type of giant monster. Or you'll like shoot off his armor and then, oh, plot twist, he's a clone or something. I don't know. Either way, like I'm so sold on Metroid Prime 4. People keep dogging on the bike. Bro, look, like, you know how boring mounts are in most video games? At least the bike looks interesting. Like, I don't get it, man. There's just this negative discourse around everything lately, and it's just like, huh? But it looks... That looks awesome. I like the motorcycle. It looks badass. I don't like Samus's armor. No, it looks cool. What's wrong with you? Uh-oh. Did my game die or did my internet die? No, internet's still good. Do you think all Phazon died like a hive mind? I think it'd be pretty cool if it had a residual effect and Silex was still infected. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I know Dark Samus is gone. Like, they've already confirmed that they're not in the timeline anymore. Or in like this story that they're starting to create kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. I'm very curious, because I'll admit, as much as I'm a big Metroid fan, I didn't beat Metroid Prime 3, most of all because it was on the Wii. The motion controls were just annoying. But also there was so much talking at the beginning of that game. Like, I couldn't get through the tutorial. But I think it was also just because around that time we were spoiled in terms of the games that were coming out. Like, Video Game Donkey's got a video on that new Kirby Air Riders, which, by the way, it's phenomenal. And he basically was talking about, like, why didn't the first Kirby Air Riders do good? And he gave this huge list of all the other arcade racing AAA games that came out around that time. And it's like, yeah, times were different back then. There was so many good games to pick from that even like the bangers would not sell well because there would be so many other options already. But nowadays, you know, that's so rare that games like Expedition 33 are getting praised for being, you know, albeit very good JRPG. But when you compare that to the golden era of the PS2, is Expedition really that good? You know, that's kind of the question that I'd pose to people. But I think most people aren't as old as me. So anyway, haven't bought a Nintendo game since I was a kid. Everyone still has the connotation Nintendo games are for kids, but bro, I'm a Nintendo fan for life. I don't care. Like, Donkey Kong is still one of my all-time favorite games, and I'm not big into Donkey Kong or anything like that. Donkey Kong's an idiot. But anyways, Samus was already cool. Adding a bike only made her cooler. I know. I agree. Remember the bike from the Breath of the Wild bike? Because your horse couldn't get summoned, so instead you had a motorcycle that you could summon. That's what it made me think of. The bike was just an inevitability. They needed to have a mount, and they wanted to have something cool and functional. And I'm here for it, dude. Loved Metroid Prime 3 mainly because of the Nova Beam. Yeah, see, I don't know any of that stuff. If it was nowadays, I would appreciate it more. But I think back then, like, I kind of just like, oh, there's so many other games I could play instead because I had a modded Wii. What? I didn't say anything. Obscure is a masterpiece. Yeah, I'm not dogging on it. I'm just saying, like, in comparison, like, back in the day, to clarify, I think that Clair Obscura has, like, a lot of hype around it right now because there's not much competition. You know what I mean? Like, the closest we've got is the Final Fantasy and Persona games and stuff. And don't get me wrong, they're great, but I don't know. Stories just don't hit in JRPGs as much as they used to. That said, with Clair Obscura, like, I've grown out of JRPGs. I found Clair Obscura so boring, I couldn't get into it. But I'm glad that it's popular and popping off and everybody else is as into it as they are. I remember playing co-op Kirby Drive Battle game when I was a kid. Don't remember the name, but my friend had it and it was awesome. Yeah, you're probably talking about Kirby Air Ride. This one's the sequel. It's called Riders. Wow. But yeah, there's like a city mode where you can do like PvP and stuff. Persona 3 would change your life? No. No, Nick. It wouldn't. I tried playing Persona. I hated it. The characters didn't shut up. Like, I think I have a brain aneurysm or something because I can't. I try to get into the story, but I just yawn. Like, I get so bored so quickly at like high school drama, like story life. Like, it's just, why am I investing in this video game character? I don't know. I think it's a combination of the amount of games that I've played, but also being a YouTuber where I feel like people are going to lose their attention span sitting and watching me, Unk, play a game and read stuff in it that I'm used to skipping through it. And I think that's kind of messed with my mentality over the years. That said, I'm going to hopefully be able to read through most of the Metroid stuff, but most of all just because I want that game to last. Anyway, what were you saying, Cyrus? 100% Metroid Prime 3 showed Silex following her. It's weird that he was in the system with the Galactic Federation. That definitely seems suspicious. Okay, so he's like a greater threat. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm curious where they're going to go with it. Like, does he have a bunch of bounty hunter buddies? Why is he with the space pirates? Is Ridley going to show up again, even though he's been killed 50,000 times? Very, very curious what they're going to do with Metroid. But they're games that haven't really had this story like front and center. Like, as much as I'm seeing a lot of people complaining, the first 15 minutes of Metroid Prime are poop because it's, you know, a super tutorial. And I mean, arguably, it's been 20 years since the last Metroid Prime, so I don't really blame them for introducing the basic mechanics to new players. But the Metroid games are usually very solace experiences where you're out exploring alone and you feel isolated. Like, the atmosphere is the thing they need to nail, and the first few trailers had me worried. The more recent ones, they nailed it. Metroid Prime 4 looks great in that respect. And the music, oh my god, dude. That rock guitar they got on the trailer, like, I'm really excited for like all aspects of Prime 4, dude. And I hope it's got like a good story. Despite the fact that, again, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, you guys are talking about this Metroid story, I'm so confused. Bro, remember that scan visor I talked about? That's where 90% of the story is. So it's optional. Like, there's cutscenes and stuff, sure, to introduce boss fight and characters and stuff, but generally speaking, yeah, Metroid games, the story takes a back seat. So. As beautiful as the games look, it was definitely a looming horror. Metroid Prime 3 had a section in the second planet that was like SCP. Dude, I really should have played through Prime 3 then. Prime 2, I'm gonna be real. Oh. So, there's one other game that I think any old timers who have played Majora's Mask, you know how that game is like not really fun? Like, it's got atmosphere, but that over looming timer, like, just weighing down on you all the time. Like, even though you actually have like plenty of time and there's not much threat in like losing or anything, but it's just having that timer is what, like, just, I don't know. It just makes it feel like so oppressive. Prime 2 did that with the Dark World because you could only be there for a limited time and it was just insanely deadly. And it's just, I'm really curious to see how they're going to lean into the dark parts with Prime 4. Because even, oh, dude, even Prime 1, like, going to the Metroid lair, knowing that there was, like, the last save point you had was, like, 30 minutes ago, and you're fighting the strongest enemies in the game. Like, people are like, Metroid Prime 4 only has a casual mode and a normal mode. It's like, bro, these are hard games. The Metroid games have always been difficult. I want to play through it on hard mode if I have the time after I beat it. But it just, anyway, yeah, here we go. I told you you shouldn't have brought up Metroid. Because here we go, dude. Excuse me. Hey, Mystery. Excited for the Terraria update. Oh, they got a Terraria update coming? What's going on with the Terraria update? Hopefully something cool. No, it's fine, Darnell. It's just, I always worry that when I ramble about these things, most of you guys are like, I don't care about Metroid. This guy's gotta shut up. But it's like, no, I'm too into it, man. Like, I genuinely am so excited for it. Definitely my most anticipated game. Oh, you speedrun a couple of them, Saris. Nice. Oh, wait, Saris, right. I think... Yeah, Sorry. The change in the usernames because of YouTube being stupid is throwing me off. That's why I was, like, confused at, like, who's who. But yeah, you were there when I played through Metroid Prime Remaster, right? If I'm not mistaken, you were the one that were like helping me through the game because I was like so lost and confused. Which hopefully doesn't happen with Prime 4. Either way, I'm so excited for it, dude. Like, part of me wanted to play the game on hard if it was available right away, just because I want the game to last long. But I'm excited, to say the least. No, your backseating was actually very helpful, Saris, because like so much of my memory of Prime 1 was like messing with what I was actually supposed to do. So it was really helpful, like genuinely. Because otherwise there was parts where I wanted to look stuff up and it was like, no. I'm sorry, guys. Let me grab some cough medicine really quick. Yeah, like been really been really fortunate with like all the games and stuff that have come out. You know, like I kind of got like all the games that I ever wanted, including, you know, I was hyped for Ghost of Yotei. I don't know why I hated it so much, but I think it just because it felt like such a pointless sequel. But anyway. What Neon Ninja question, Nightcrawler? Terraria is gonna get an update late December or early January. Oh, did they not talk about what it is? No, I won't give any Yotei spoilers. Don't worry. I'll just say, like, I speed ran through the game, and for me, like, I can understand why that game is gonna be a lot of people's game of the year. Because, you know, again, like, if you can indulge me for a moment to go on a little bit of a rant here. Real talk. I think the internet has been really getting into monetizing rage bait, like, a little too much. And because of that, I feel like I'm kind of ping-ponging to the opposite direction, where what I'm trying to really do just within myself this whole year, you know, it's not like it's just a new concept, is being able to be like, well, I think Ghost of Yotei sucks, but that doesn't mean that you're an idiot because you enjoy it. Like, everybody's different and everyone responds to games differently. For me personally, I just don't think that Yotei did anything different. Like, it was just a sequel through and through that took way too long to make, despite the fact that it's still a work of art. It's still beautiful. The music's great. Story was good. Except for the ending, that sucked. But it was the gameplay, man. The moment-to-moment gameplay just felt like the same as Tsushima. And as someone who already had over 100 hours in Tsushima, it was just like, oh, okay. More. Which, in most cases, that's what most people want. But it kind of was like a God of War Ragnarok situation for me, where I love the first God of War, hated Ragnarok, because it was just more of the same. And it's like, if you're not going to end up like doing something different, then why am I wasting my time? I know that's a weird way to think, but it's like, why wouldn't I just play the other game? I don't know. Again, I know a lot of people, Yotei's gonna be their game of the year, but, and don't worry, Yotei's gonna be on my game of the year list. I'm just saying, like, the whole thing that I'm trying to get at is being able to express my thoughts towards a game without just blatantly saying, like, you're an idiot. How stupid are you if you like this video game that I don't? You know what I mean? Because there's too much of that on the internet, and it's like, bro, we're all just, it's you know, we're all just having fun with our hobby. That's why, like, even with Expedition, I know it's probably gonna win Game of the Year. It's not my Game of the Year, not by a long like landslide, dude. But Am I going to like cuss out for it winning Game of the Year? No. Because last year kind of was, yeah, that was a terrible Game Awards. This year's gonna be an awful Game Awards as well, but I'm not gonna watch it live. I'm gonna watch it after so I can skip through it. Because I don't need 4 hours of American ads to be shoved down my throat. I do still hope we have some big announcements. Like, I'd love to see anything about Elder Scrolls. Maybe Dust Bloods. I don't know how much I care about all that. Later, Beck. Still remember how Relogic said 1.4 would be the final update of Terraria. Yeah, and then they kept working on the game because they needed money. Not exactly, but, you know. Oh no, go for it, Nightcrawler. Did you already ask your question and I missed it? In which case, I'm sorry, dude. Big issue in the game industry right now is they're so afraid to try new things. We keep getting mediocre sequels for good games. Aha! But the problem isn't necessarily a lack of creativity with video games. It's a lack of, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Video games have become the most profitable form of entertainment hobby ever. Like, either it was this year or last year, it topped movies in terms of the revenue that it overall makes. With that, there is a cost, because it means that, similar to Hollywood, we stop seeing creativity, unique ideas. We start seeing easily monetizable live action slop, or live service slop, I mean. And, you know, games that are very safe. Like, as much as all of us as gamers dog on the idea of FIFA, Call of Duty, you know, they're using AI art and stuff. The average Joe Schmo that buys those games, they're not even on the internet in this capacity in any way, shape, or form. Video games have become casualized. We're the nerds. And while we're not necessarily ostracized like I was when I was a kid, it's definitely gotten a lot better. But the fact is, the damage is done where video games are now mostly for the casual consumer, like the cattle, as you might call them. And I don't mean to sound derogatory or anything, but it's just how it is. So you don't see creative studios popping up out of nowhere, because when you see the creative studios from years ago, guess what? They were popping out some of the best games ever created, and most of those studios are gone. Like the studio that made Deus Ex and System Shock and Thief and all that, like, all of those games are gone because immersive sim games are extremely expensive to make because of the amount of options that they have to supply to the player. And they don't usually end up turning over a profit. Closest would be Dishonored, which ended up doing a really good job commercializing it by being fairly linear while still offering a lot of player choice. But I'm just making a point, you know, it's the same as, like, for me, Splinter Cell. Where's that Splinter Cell remake? God, I love stealth games, but stealth games don't sell because usually it's just pitch black. So why would anybody buy it, you know? That's why, like, as much as people dog on Nintendo, like, it's just for kids and all that stuff, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, Nintendo is the only company that's, like, consistently just putting out bangers, whether you like the game or not. Like, I'm not big into Pikmin, but I would never question its quality. It's Nintendo, you know? I'm not even big into this Kirby Air Riders game. I haven't even dedicated that much time to it. But the little times that I have played it, it's a masterpiece. Like, no question. It's one of the only companies that's managed to continually pour everything, because Nintendo always prioritizes mechanics over, like, graphics and stuff, you know? Closest stealth game we got these days is Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I really enjoyed, actually. But I still want a new Splinter Cell, please God. Hey, GNAC, what's up? Excuse me. Dishonored's my favorite game, you have no idea. I didn't like the aesthetic of it. That's what, like, kind of unsold me on it. Similar to how I never played through Bloodborne, because I don't like that valedictorian era. I know I should just force myself to play it because I know it's a masterpiece. But I don't know. It's on my bucket list one day. There it is, Nightcrawler. Yeah, sorry, dude. I have 2 questions. One, is Neo Ninja viable with the new front flip? Yes, 100%. What is recommended stats to solo D15? Sorry. Oh, it always comes out at night, man. I hate it. Stats, most of all for endgame, would be focused on the light, most of all, which you'll need like, I think 11.1k minimum to handle D15, let alone like your other stats, in which case, obviously, you're just gonna end up building towards like, you know, max damage, crit damage, and so on. I might have to try and tone down, like, you guys are getting me too excited talking about all these different games and stuff. But I gotta start pacing myself. We might have to call the stream a bit earlier than I expected. Because, yeah. Splinter Cell was amazing back in the day. I unlocked everything possible. Oh, dude. I was huge into the Splinter Cell games. I didn't like Blacklist in comparison to the other games because, as far as I'm concerned, there is no Sam Fisher without Michael Ironside's timbery voice. So I really hope they're using him in the remake, but they probably won't because it's Ubisoft. They're soulless. But oddly enough, I actually liked Pandora Tomorrow, Splinter Cell 2. The one that most people hated. That was actually my favorite Splinter Cell. I played through it so many times, you have no idea. And I liked Conviction, even though it was a little too action already, but I still enjoyed it. Oh man. Oh, you weren't talking about Splinter Cell, you were talking about Time Splitters? Ah, yes. Actually, dude, if you didn't hear about it, there's a mod that just released that they've been working on for like 10 years that has they remastered Time Splitters 1, 2, and 3. I haven't gotten around to playing it myself yet, but yeah, it seemed really cool. Big ambitious project that they've been working on for so freaking long. And apparently it has the entire Time Splitters 1 campaign playable, with their plan being Time Splitters 2 and 3 campaign down the line. But it has like all 3 games fused to one, so it's got like all the maps and everything and all the characters and everything. Just for any old school Time Splitter fans out there. Really cool. Did Tencent only buy the rights to R6? No. They own Ubisoft. Like, as far as I know, they're just under them now. I don't know in terms of like what rights they carry with Ubisoft. I think the deal just went through and now they're in charge. Which means Ubisoft might end up doing some self-publishing with some of the other games, but generally I think it's, you know, they're gonna stick with Assassin's Creed and stuff, the big IPs that sell well. The Splinter Cell remake is kind of one of those games that's been in development hell, so it's probably gonna suck, but it would be my dream that it comes out and is actually good. Because it's not just a remake like Resident Evil, like they're remaking it with like full modern mechanics and everything, so it might be great, but it also might suck. Because I don't know what a modern stealth game looks like. Oh, world crashed again. Maybe, is there some glitch? Sorry. Is there something people are doing to crash the world? But anyway, they haven't even shown like a trailer or anything for Splinter Cell, but the old lead that was behind the game and then left to work on other projects just came back. So I'm wondering if that's them trying to get the ball rolling and get the project finished. I would hope. Because otherwise, like, there's a lot of games that I've been waiting on for what feels like decades. to the point where I think aside from Splinter Cell, Metroid was kind of like the last big, like, my whole list is complete. I mean, I guess Elder Scrolls, obviously, and GTA 6 now have been like games I've been wanting for like years and years and years. But I'm just saying, like, there's not really that much surprises lately. Like, Summer Games Fest was pretty bad this year. I'm expecting the Game Awards to just be garbage. Like, let's be real. It's just so full of ads. I will be very shocked if there's like a surprise in there that is like, whoa. I mean, I guess there's that new stupid Turok game, but that one is just because nobody likes Turok but me, so I must play it, even though it looks bad. It looks really bad. But who knows? Yeah, Time Splitters was a good one, dude, because it was basically a 007 GoldenEye offshoot, like adjacent, that ended up kind of doing its own thing. And I remember having so much fun with the multiplayer. The monkey mode was like a lot of fun. I don't know how it would hold up today, because, you know, what's interesting is very different than what it was back then. Why you guys stream at 1 a.m.? I know, I'm sorry. It's actually not 1 a.m. though. It's 12 a.m. so we're close. Honestly, I just finally felt well enough that I wanted to stream. That's about it. You know me, I don't have a proper proper stream schedule. Because as far as like life is concerned, I'm busy with baby Leon most of the day. And then the wife gets home and then I like to try and spend time with her if I can. Today she had the day off and part of me felt a little bit guilty, but I just told her, like, I because of this stupid coughing that I've had over these days, like, I just needed to work. So I got a full playthrough recorded and done. I still need to edit like a ton of stuff. Is this a bot? I feel like this is a bot because suddenly like 500 people just appeared. I don't know. Anyway. Someone asked before, what's the best physical ally? Right now I'm using Scorpio. Is it worth swapping to the Fire Elemental T-Rex? I mean, here's your answer, dude. Just swap to it and try and see if you deal extra damage. In most cases, yeah, the T-Rex or the Fire Ally is going to be better. Oh yeah, that's a bot, 100%. Yeah, I'm not. Nope. Unless it's just, it might just be a farm. Because I know people farm all that stuff, but they're all joining each other way too quick. Oh, dang it. Yeah. I think the fire elemental is, in most cases, it'll deal more damage. And then eventually you can move on to the, I think it's the heck bug, right? Something like that. Oh, God, sorry. I'm starting to get a little bit distracted by it's the nighttime. My body knows that sleep is coming, and so it's starting to cough and be sick again. Hey, Meat. Is this an MMO? Yes, it is. Which is why we just saw some hackers. It's the fact that the fire ally drops light by 100. Yes. So you'll lose light with it, but it compensates with the damage that you get out of it. So the real question is, do you have enough light to deal damage to the enemies? But you can literally just look at the damage per second and just see for yourself whether or not you're dealing more damage. Sorry guys, we might have to call the stream soon. Around 8 to 9K. If you're doing like D13 or 14, I think you'll be okay, but can't say with 100% certainty. You just experiment, man. Just try it. Trying to find a pixel-like MMO. Do you think this is the best one for now? Bro, I'm a little bit biased. I've been playing this game for 11 years. Real talk, there's a lot of pay for progression stuff, but you won't deal with that until you get like pretty far into the game anyways. And a lot of it you still can technically grind for free anyway, so. But I'd recommend Trove. I mean, I like it. Yeah, later, David. I'm probably gonna finish the stream after this dungeon, honestly, because I don't want to push myself too much with this stupid coughing. But nice talk. Hopefully see you in the next couple days with the Metroid. Probably, so what's gonna happen with Metroid, just FYI guys, December 3rd at probably like 10 p.m. Pacific time is when Metroid should release digitally, because that's midnight in the UK. But otherwise, like I'll probably do like a stream of that then, and then the wife just coincidentally has December 4th off, so I'll be doing probably a Metroid stream most of the day. If I can, on top of editing and doing other things and this stupid cough. But anyway, I think I gotta give my voice a little bit of a rest, so I'll just say thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. I'll answer a couple more questions here. I know you love Shadowhunter, but what are your other favorite classes? I mean, there's only a couple classes that I dislike, but I'd say I enjoy Candy Barb's good, Knight's fine, Neo Ninja's good. Neo Ninja with the front flip is probably a lot better than I give credit. Draco's good. Boomer, I'm not the biggest fan of. Lancer, I haven't played since the servers have been better, so can't say how much more I would enjoy it. Dino Tamer's good as well. And I told them about this. I don't know why Tomb Razor's down here. Tomb Razor's probably like my second favorite, despite the fact that he's really, really slow. That's kind of my main issue with him. Thanks for the bits, Levy. Also, thank you guys for coming out. Have a good one. Excuse me.